welcome to the Logistics Point interviews. I'm joined by Britta Wyss Bisang from Schoeller Allibert, and we're talking about sustainability. Britta, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you, Nick. I'm happy to be here.
The first thing I wanted to talk about is what you're doing in sustainability, and then move on to how you think other companies could benefit from the experience and the path.
So I'm working with Schoeller Allibert. So we are in returnable transport packaging, and I've had the honor to actually be able to develop the sustainability strategy in the past year together with the colleagues and the stakeholders of our company. What we have done is, first of all, we have made a quite extensive materiality assessment, checking what are the most material topics where our company's activities have an impact on the environment and on society, and what sustainability risks affect us. That process has really helped us also to better understand our supply chain, looking at it from a sustainability perspective. What we found that in our work, the topics that are most important to our stakeholders are climate, decarbonization, but also moving towards a circular economy. So moving away from a linear, wasteful economy towards a circular economy. And this is also a reason why our customers are looking at reusable packaging. So that is something that we can offer and really can contribute.
What practical steps do you think should be taken by everyone in the industry?
I think the materiality assessment is really a practical step that is helpful, not only because you gain a different understanding of your supply chain, but also you see your stakeholders' expectations, and you sometimes see that maybe the expectations or the views differ from stakeholder to stakeholder or from your own one. For example, in our case, we are doing reusable packaging in plastic. There's a lot of discussion about plastic as a material, and the materiality assessment also showed us we want to engage in that discussion, and we want to show what is the difference between a single-use plastic packaging and a reusable plastic packaging that actually can contribute to decarbonization and circular economy. But that is a topic that is kind of brought from the outside, right? But also in general, for example, assessing the corporate carbon footprint is really something that provides insights beyond the footprint itself, because it does show which practices contribute to emissions, what are the possibilities to reduce. So just going in there, engaging and doing it, sometimes learning it the hard way, that really helps.
Were there any surprises for you personally from all of these evaluations?
We realized that our direct emissions, our Scope 1 emissions, are actually rather low, and that the main effect on reducing the carbon footprint is not only moving to renewable energy, that's something that we expected and that we have started doing already, but also how important it is to work more with recycled materials, not only from a circular economy perspective, but also from a decarbonization perspective. So decarbonizing not only our supply chain, but helping our customers to decarbonize theirs. That is actually a very strong connection between decarbonization and circular economy. That really came out of that corporate carbon footprint assessment.
Supply chains are turning green, but where will the energy come from? Join us on the 10th of May to talk about power and energy in logistics, visibility and sustainability, and the role of people. Discover why sustainability is more than just a word, and what logistic and supply chain organizations are doing to fulfill net zero pledges, customers' demands, and shortages of key materials. The event is free and you can register now. Delivering Green, Creating Sustainable Supply Chains on the 10th of May by the Logistics Point. Register now. How easy is it, not only in terms of costs and time, but also in terms of effort and trying to find what exactly is happening in the supply chain?
It definitely is an effort, and I think it should not be an effort, let's say, from the sustainability director. It has to be really an effort that is carried by the whole organization. So that requires also some kind of change management. So it really goes into procurement, it goes in creating energy efficiencies at the factories, it goes into the sales discussions with the customers. I think it's quite a transformational process to changing how we're doing business. So that is definitely an effort, right? In terms of cost, not doing the work on sustainability now will be a cost in the not too far away future. That is also maybe that's another surprising finding that I've been working a lot with human resources as well on the social aspects, but it also shows that, looking for employees, that the sustainability message is actually one that candidates were looking at on our website, and that were asking questions when applying for a job. So that's also another dimension, which I think shows that engaging in sustainability will help future-proof the business.
How can we plan for a long-term strategy, especially now when, with all of these things happening in supply chain, affecting the supply chain, it's very hard to know what's going to happen next.
Having a comprehensive strategy, I think, helps, because we are a group, active in many countries. So to have an aligned approach helps to go into the same direction. So that is already, for the long term, crucial. I also think that with the world as volatile as it is, we will have to stop, review, and rethink the strategy from time to time. So, it's not set in stone for the next 25 years. And that's also when we look at the long-term targets that Schoeller Allibert has, that other companies have. The long-term targets take some courage, because you don't know exactly how you will get there, but you have to start the journey. So I think on a long-term strategy, it's important to have those targets, to set those targets, align the company behind, but then also review them again and decide whether we have to adapt our activities to get to these targets, or whether we have to change something else. I think on the long term, it's also moving away from the thinking of can we reduce negative impacts, can we reduce carbon emissions, to how can we create positive impact. And that is, for us, really the circular economy discussion that we're also having with, setting up the rental business, where we're establishing closed loops. We're trying to set up buyback schemes where we buy back used crates and containers to have recycled materials available. So the circular economy, for us, really also presents an opportunity for positive impact, and for replacing single-use packaging by circular alternatives. So that moving from negative to positive, I think, is a long-term strategy.
Britta, thank you very much for your time. For everyone watching, you can learn more in the description down below. Thank you very much.